Hello, friends. Story reading from the Magic Drum and the other favorite stories by Sudha Murty. Today's story Two Thieves. Saranga was a clever minister in the court of King Devaprasanna. Saranga was such a good advisor that none of the neighboring kings could ever succeed in attacking the kingdom. Naturally, they were very jealous of Devaprasanna and his brilliant minister. Saranga was also a great patron of the arts. Many artists, writers, and thinkers gathered in his house. He gave them shelter and the means to work on their art. One day, two strangers appeared at his doorstep. "We have been wandering in many places. We heard you are kind to talented people, so we have come to ask you for shelter," they said. "What are your talents?" asked Saranga. "I can bark like a dog," said one. "My imitation is so good that even real dogs get confused. And my friends here can crow better than a cock." What have you been doing all this while with these talents?" asked Saranga, amazed. Now the two friends looked embarrassed. Finally they said, "We will be honest. We were thieves and used these talents to confuse the owner of houses we robbed. Now we have decided to mend our ways and to do some honest work. That is why we have come to you." Saranga decided to let the two stay in his house, even though his other guests protested. He felt they were truly repentant and should be given a chance. So the two stayed with him and became a part of his group. Now, Himabindu was a wicked old king of a neighboring kingdom. Several times he had wanted to invade Devaprasanna's kingdom but had failed miserably because Saranga would always foil his plans. He wanted Saranga to become his minister so he could easily conquer Devaprasanna's kingdom. One day he sent a letter to Devaprasanna. "I want to honor your minister Saranga. I want him to come to my kingdom and give my ministers some lessons in statecraft. Please send Saranga to my kingdom and allow him to stay here for a few days." Saranga was suspicious when the king informed him about the letter. But Devaprasanna wanted to be on good terms with his neighbors. So he said, "Why don't you go? If you suspect something wrong, just come back." Saranga now had no choice but to go to Himabindu's court. He took his group of artists and writers with him, as well as the two ex-thieves. Himabindu welcomed Saranga with great respect. Saranga too had come with many gifts for the king, among them a beautiful rare shawl. Finally, the king sat down to talk to him. "Saranga, I know you are the brain behind Devaprasanna's success as a king. You have served him for many years. Why don't you work for me now? I will make you richer than ever. You will become my chief minister." Saranga, who had suspected all along that something like this would happen, had his answer ready. "My family has served King Devaprasanna for many generations. I cannot leave his service. I am sorry." As soon as the words had left his mouth, Himabindu flew into rage and ordered that Saranga be thrown into prison. When his friends, who were waiting in another room, heard about this, they were shocked. How could they save their beloved Saranga now? They came up with many plans, none of which could be carried out by a bunch of artists. Finally, one said, "Queen Sammohini is the king's favorite queen. She is beautiful and intelligent. She loves rare art objects, especially shawls. But we came with only one shawl, and Saranga presented it to king. If only we could get it back. The two former thieves listened to the discussion in silence. After some time, they walked out quietly. They went to the royal chamber where the gifts were piled up. A ferocious looking guard stood at the door and frowned at them. Quickly, they slipped behind a tree, and one of them began barking like a dog. The guard was startled. How could a dog enter the royal palace? Surely, if the king heard the noise it was making, the guard would be out of a job. He rushed off to find the dog, while the other friend went inside to find the shawl. Then they quickly made their way back to the group of friends who were still deep in discussion. Here is a shawl, they said, giving it to the oldest and wisest person in the group. Now you can present it to the queen. The man took the shawl to the queen, who was delighted with it. What a beautiful design! Such soft wool. How much do you want for this?